Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. All right, we've got Tony Edwards this morning posting this. Is the worst over for crypto? I think this is a big question that's on a lot of our minds. Of course, we're talking about it every single day. The pain continues. It's been a brutal stretch in the crypto market for everyone except the short sellers. But if we strip away the emotions and zoom out, we can see the truth, guys. Markets are cyclical, and he's posted a Substack. I will link this in the description if you guys want the link to that. Is the worst over, guys? Let's just take a look at the Bitcoin yearly candlesticks. I mean, this is zooming way out. Notice a trend here. Green, 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 red. Green, 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 red. Green, 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 red. Green, green. All right, we're down 9% on the year. But guys, there still is some time left. It is Monday, November 24th today, if you guys are watching this video on the day that I'm releasing it. And Bitcoin, although we are seeing, generally a downtrend, we are seeing a bit of a revival here for Bitcoin over the last day or so. We have seen Bitcoin slowly starting to move up. Is it forming the Nike swoosh pattern? That's a good question. We still don't have confirmation on that. We need to see higher highs still. That didn't look great. We need to still see higher highs. So Bitcoin did reach 88,100 just yesterday. If we can get up above that high, now don't forget we saw that high back on Thursday, November the 20th. So it is butting against localized resistance here. Bitcoin did dip down to 80,500. So we are in a clear upward trajectory on the micro time frame. That's got to be confirmed on the macro. And cryptocurrencies like XRP are also following suit. So check this out. For XRP, we did see it follow Bitcoin, did make a brand new localized high of $2.10, almost $2.11. Currently, one XRP is going for about $2.05 as of the time of this recording. So I know, I don't think a lot of people were expecting this yesterday. Who was expecting that yesterday? Put it down in the comments section if you were or weren't. Okay, we got market cap, guys. That is down, but it's sneaking slowly back up closer to $3 trillion. We're at $2.94 trillion. We're still in extreme fear, so the fear still has not left the space. Within the last 24 hours, we are seeing a bit of an improvement for cryptocurrencies like XRP, although some cryptocurrencies still staying firmly in the red. So it's not like we're seeing a big altcoin season or anything like that, or any kind of real meaningful altcoin movement. I mean, some are up, some are down. This is typical of low volume action here in any market. Weibo Crypto posting this. I believe the top is in for the cycle, so he's basing his opinion on 4-year cycle theory. He says, I'm treating this as a typical 4-year cycle with a low being put in around 1 year from now. So he is saying the low is going to happen in and around October 2026. My plan has always been to trade trends until they break. If we get back above the 50-week moving average and 200-day moving average, then I will reassess. Now, that is a good point. If we can get up past those levels, that's really going to make a difference. I've been talking about the trend line that connects the 2017 top, 2021 top, and 2025 top, but I honestly expected alts to run by the end of this year. Well, I mean, we still have time. This can move up further. There is a possibility. Here's what Weibo Crypto has to say.
We are in Q4 of the year after the Bitcoin halving, which is typically when the top has came in the past. So I think we should at least be open to the idea of the top being in. If you look at Bitcoin on the weekly chart, you can see this beautiful trend line connecting from the top of the 2017 top to the 2021 to the 2025 potential top. We don't know.
We got to be cautious. However, some analysts are suggesting there could be a Santa rally coming around the corner. Again, we still have about 1 month left in the year of 2025. Is Bitcoin Santa rally still possible as Bitcoin recovers from $85,000? So this was posted by AMB Crypto. After heavy losses in November, Bitcoin bulls are closely watching for signs of seller exhaustion as perhaps a possible Santa rally is looming for December. Earlier this month, renowned Polish analyst Robert Ruzal was one of the Santa rally bulls. He expected a bounce off the 50-week exponential moving average, or the EMA, a setup he believed would extend into December. However, the bull market support was cracked and a correction reached as low as $80,000, and he apologized for his failed projection. No need to apologize. We can all make predictions. Sometimes they don't come true. This is the thing, guys. It's looking fairly bleak. I mean, look at that. I mean, that uptrend does not look as strong as it could. I mean, hopefully we continue to make our way up. Hopefully we do, in fact, see a Santa rally. Will this recover into December on the options market? Durabit Insights noted that a key fund or miner that was active during the correction period has gone quiet. These mega players were actively selling call options and buying puts, so bearish positioning over the past few weeks. Going quiet meant they somewhat expected a relief, hence no need for actively hedging against further downside. So that would mean the opposite, right? They expect the market to go up if they're short sellers. However, Durabit warned that there was still short-term caution with overhaul heavy put buying. A lot of technical jargon in here, but I think you guys get it. The short sellers were seeing signs that the market could continue to rally to the upside, and therefore they stopped putting in positions, or rather they went quiet. It could be macroeconomic factors that help us move to the upside, at least in the short term. I guess I should say, if you guys are interested in hearing how I'm positioning my crypto, you guys can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoney channel. It is only $5 a month. You got to subscribe, though, and stay subscribed to lock into that price. And $5, I think that's pretty affordable for what you're getting. Most people spend $5, never mind a month, every single day on something stupid and frivolous. So if this is something that you're serious about and you want to, just follow me, follow what I'm doing, ask me questions, bounce ideas off me, be part of the Patreon, $5 a month only. Check it out if you are interested. So let's get back to this 15 million XRP projection tomorrow. This courtesy of Chad Steingraber, okay? Aggressive 500 million XRP. Now he's talking about these ETFs. Remember, the Franklin Templeton ETF is set to be released today. Yes, Franklin Templeton is a huge financial institution. Let's put things into perspective here. They and Grayscale are launching their XRP ETFs today, which is November the 24th. How many assets under management do issuers of spot XRP ETFs hold? So again, to put things into perspective, Franklin Templeton has almost 1.7 trillion AUM. Look at these investors. So we got Rex shares coming in at 500 million, Canary Capital, which was the first one, only at 300 million. When you look down here, guys, Bitwise at 15 billion, 21 shares at 12 billion, CoinShares at 8.76 billion. Grayscale is the next biggest one, so coming in third at 35 billion. Then there's WisdomTree at 138 billion. But guys, Franklin Templeton knocking them out of the park at $1.69 trillion. So think of it for a second. Some people get it. To be fair, Chad Steingraber got it a long time ago. This courtesy of Xena. She was retweeting out Diana's tweet here. XRP supply shock loading. JP Morgan says XRP and Solana ETFs could pull in $14 billion. So you got to think the popularity here. If we do see, this thing just kind of go bonkers, we are going to see extreme inflows into these ETF products. And yes, we might see a bump on FOMO within the first few days. And maybe that's why we're seeing, some of these prices going up right now. Maybe we're seeing some front running at the moment. But really, the key here, this has to be sustained. So Chad here pointing this out, scenario 6 million XRP per day based on Bitwise today. We got 12X funds, 72 million XRP per day week in a 5-day week. That's 360 million XRP per week. That means 1.44 billion per month and 17.28 billion in 1 year. That is just based on Bitwise. And again, if we just go back to Bitwise here, Bitwise is only at 15 billion. So you got to think when Franklin Templeton comes online, WisdomTree, Grayscale, some of the big guys, this is going to get huge. So when we look at ETFs and what that could do for price, let's go back to what happened to the Bitcoin ETF. Let's forget about the early ones, the ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF. Let's look at the US ones. The first physical or spot Bitcoin ETF in the United States, which hold the currency directly. That's the other thing we got to remember. Hold the currency directly, launched on January 11th, 2024. Now, do you guys remember what happened with that? Let's bring up Bitcoin here, and let's just get rid of some of that on the chart. Let's throw that on the daily and auto here. Okay, so January 2024, and it was January the 11th, 2024, right in there. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on that to show you guys what happened. So it was right there. You guys can see my cursor is on January the 11th, 2024. And what we saw once they were launched, we saw a run up. Okay, so this is the candlestick here, January 11th. And then right after they were launched, we saw a downturn for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, about 2 weeks before we hit a bottom. And then, actually, it'd probably be better to put one of these here. I'm just going to throw on a date range tool. That's what it's called. How long did it take to get back up to the price that it was before the launch? 32 days, so just over a month, guys. That said, I mean, we got to think about this. There are a lot more ETFs coming online. However, we cannot assume it is a fait accompli for price to move very fast and stay sustained for XRP ETFs. At least that's just my opinion here. Anyway, going to keep moving along. Smoke here saying so far, day one inflow records belong to Canary Capital's ETF. They opened at $245 million and now reach $325 million in cumulative inflows. Bitwise's began at 107 on day one. Now they sit at $125 million together. The two have brought in about $450 million, which is still just breadcrumbs in the context of real institutional scale. So also just commenting on these numbers here. Remember, we've got Grayscale, Wisdom Tree, Franklin Templeton all coming online. Now the larger institutions are entering the market. As he says, the record to beat is $245 million in one day. I expect these records to be consistently broken as institutional enthusiasm builds for XRP. So that's the second piece of the puzzle. We need the institutional enthusiasm to come in and really kind of knock these numbers out of the water. And I got to say, I'm pretty confident it will happen eventually. We even have XP Markets coming out saying there is a new ETF tracker, guys, coming out from XRP Markets specifically. So tracking the ETFs as they're heating up. Now you can track live ETF volumes, detailed spot market pricing for every XRP linked product, full derivatives and leverage markets, issuer launch queues with countdowns, institutional AUM exposure across major asset managers, plus historical volume analytics and category level breakdowns. And guys, I will link this in the description of the video if you're interested in checking it out. Look at that. All the XRP ETFs now listed here on or at XRP Markets, or excuse me, XP Markets. So you've got, what do we have here? So we got the XRP one, so that's Bitwise, Amplify. We got Canary Capital here and all the prices, okay, and what they're going for. Expected coming soon, the Grayscale one, Franklin Templeton. We got Rex Osprey, which has been launched. And then the derivatives and leverage ones. So Tucrium, we've got 2XRP, volatility shares, and Pro Shares Ultra XRP ETF. Down here, they have the launch queue. So these ones are coming online very soon. 2 hours, 16 minutes, 21 seconds as of the time of this recording. And 21 shares and coin shares we are still waiting on. So a great resource here for XRP ETFs. Again, I will link this in the description of the video as I do everything else. So wanted to thank XP Markets, wanted to thank Smoke, Zena Anders, Chad Steingraber, Weibo Crypto, and Tony Edward for posting that first tweet there. Really interesting to see how the market is evolving, the fact that there should be some time left in this market before we see a burst to the upside. Now, Michael Branch posting this. Matt Hougan, Chief Investment Officer at Bitwise Asset Management, has opined that XRP is now entering the value capture era. Guys, this is very different than speculative trading, okay? Aggressive capture might no longer seem risky for crypto projects in the current regulatory environment, okay? This is according to Matt Hougan. He is the Chief Investment Officer at Bitwise. He has opined that XRP is now entering its value capture era. Hougan has stressed that one of the key sources of investment alpha is recognizing when tokens improve their ability to capture value for holders rather than just serving as governance or utility tokens. So now we're seeing XRP being able to capture value for their holders. Matt Hougan did post this on Twitter X. One source of alpha is recognizing big news that gets lost in the shuffle. In the chaos of the current market pullback, a lot is getting lost in the shuffle, he says. One example, tokens are getting much better at capturing value. I'll cover some examples, XRP being one of them. He also talks about Uniswap and Ethereum. But in the context of XRP, guys, you see a growing focus on value capture in XRP. The community is starting to consider ideas like staking, which would change the economics for token holders. The connecting thread of level of value capture in digital assets is only up from here. I think people look at token value capture as static, but it is not. Guys, the more developments that are occurring, the more opportunity for value capture there is. And, the longer we hold obviously means, yes, the downside is we're holding longer, but, the more opportunity there is for the future, considering we know that, the XRPL is being developed on every single day. Most of today's tokens were created in a regulatory era where value capture was risky. As a result, they defaulted to vague governance-style design choices. Under the new regulatory climate, though, that has been unwound. So I think we'll start to feel this effect in 2026. The value capture era is here. And if you guys are interested in reading a little more on what Matt Hougan has to say about value capture for Uniswap and Ethereum, again, I link everything in the description of the video. So I wanted to thank Matt Hougan and Michael Branch as well. So guys, the value capture era is here. I mean, maybe we will start to see XRP moving on its own, not being so tied to Bitcoin eventually. Hopefully that happens sooner rather than later. I mean, we're already starting to see the XRP price slowly move to the upside. I mean, we're still trading in a spec market at the moment, but for more information on where I think the market's going to go in the future, follow me, patreon.com/Working Money Channel. Check out the Working Money Channel merch store if you guys are interested in purchasing some Working Money Channel merch. I got Bearable Guys stuff here. Send it XRP astronaut merchandise as well as general XRP merch. Link is in the description of every video I do. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.